What's up? So, I haven't posted a video in like a super long time. I'm sorry. School's a little bit stressful. Um, hmm. I've just noticed something a lot lately. Um, it is kind of like people can be like really sort of, I guess, enthusiastic about you, um, either getting better or they'll be like super understanding about, you know, your brick walls, and by that I mean like those things that stop you. Like if you've got social anxiety, it's like, oh, I'm really sorry I can't go out with you guys. And they're like, you get some friends that are like, it's okay, I understand. I just thought it'd be really nice to invite you. And you're like, thanks so much. It's good to know that I'm still in your thoughts. Like that's awesome. Like I really appreciate it. I mean, I kind of feel bad that I can't go out with you, but still, like you get those kind of friends, and then you get the ones that'll do that. Like they'll be really, I guess, supportive and seemingly understanding until it deals with them. And that is, man, the only thing I have to say about that is drop them. Like, get rid of those people in your life that make you feel guilty about being the way that you are and having things that you can't control. Because you'll get those friends that are like, if you're like, oh man, I feel so bad I couldn't go hang out with these guys. And they're like, oh, that's perfectly okay. They're like, I understand. It's okay. You're still a really strong person. You've grown so much, like that kind of thing. And you're like, yay. And then when it comes to them asking you to hang out, especially if they do it continuously, because that just makes it so much worse. I mean, you feel really bad because you're like, I should hang out with them, right? Because they're my friends and stuff. But at the same time, just thinking about it is anxiety-inducing, almost horrible thing. And you feel really bad about that because they're your friends and you used to be really social with them, maybe, or whatever. And it's really hard, especially if if your anxiety is increasing. Like maybe when you first met them, you just had, social anxiety, but maybe now you have severe social anxiety and it's just increasing, and that's really hard. Because they'll be like, hey, do you want to hang out? And you'll avoid them. Like, you'll avoid answering the question. Or you just, every time you say, I can't, I've got assignments to do, and maybe you really do, but there are times where, maybe you could have hung out, but you couldn't make yourself do it. So you have those answers for them. And then sometimes they'll come back with these things where they're telling you how hurt they are or whatever, and it really just makes you feel worse about yourself, because it can be really hard to deal with this kind of a thing. I mean, I wanted to order a faculty sweater, and I couldn't go do it myself. My mother had to walk in with me. 18. That's not something I'm proud of. That's not something that's going to help me get a job or help me in my pursuit to go on an exchange program. It's not going to help me at all, is it? So that kind of a thing makes me feel really bad about myself. But when I've got friends and family that are like, wow, why don't you just take your medication and come out with us, use your coping techniques, and I'm like, you know what, guys? I'm lucky enough that I still go to class, okay? Like, back it off, alright? Just stop it. Like, I understand that friends it's a social thing, right? You hang out with them, you do all that kind of a thing, but it's hard. Like, it's actually so hard. It's literally like you're like, sometimes you're like, awesome, I'll do this. And then you get ready to go do it, and you'll be like, on your way there, and all of a sudden there's a brick wall that's standing in front of you that nobody else can see, nobody else can feel, but you smack into it so hard that your face gets like covered in blood because you probably broke your nose, and you're just kind of like, wow, where did that come from? And you knock right on your butt, and you're like, I can't. And it's too high for you to climb, it's too wide for you to go around, it goes way too down, so you can't dig. It's like, There's no door anywhere, there's no rope, there's nothing. It's like, why is this here? Why is this here? I was probably fine a minute ago. And it does that, and it just shows up at random times, and you're like, thanks, that's great, awesome. And it really sucks. And it's just, it's awful. Especially when you've got friends that are like, they want to go out to eat, or they want to go get something, and you're like, maybe you're with them to hang out, and all of a sudden they wanted to go eat something, and you're like, I can't do it. And for me, that's for generally one or two reasons. And it's kind of because I'm not comfortable eating in front of people. I still haven't eaten in front of my roommates. It's now October. But it's also because I'm gonna have to purge that up later. So I don't want to do that in public or at a friend's house or family's house even. I just admitted that. That's great. Awesome. Go me. It's just, it's not good, right? It sucks. And trying to get your friends to understand is impossible, because they can understand the concept of it, as in the textbook definition of what's going on, but they're not going to understand how it actually feels. Unless, of course, they really want to go do something, and you somehow have the money and the power to do so, and you just drop the biggest brick wall you possibly could in front of them. And it just crushes everything they wanted to do, and you're like, you get it now, or no? We still gotta talk this out? And the thing is, I feel like I'm getting increasingly more mean about this when it comes to people, but the fact that it's been getting worse, it's like, I just don't have the ability or the patience to have people make me feel guilty about it, because it's like, I sit there and cry about it because they've made me feel so bad about myself without them probably even really wanting to. And then it's like, wow, okay. And then I'm just like hating on myself more than I usually do, and it's like, and then I wind up with a super puffy face like I have right now, which is like twice the size it was like 3 days ago. It's fun. Yeah, no. The thing is, if you're gonna be supportive of a friend, try and actually be supportive. Because making them feel guilty just because they're missing your hangout time, not worth it. Because if you're gonna do that, then you're not a friend. And they shouldn't be sitting there being like, you know what, I gotta please this person, I gotta make them feel better, I gotta hang out with them just so that they still call themselves my friends. Well, you know what, if they're gonna force you to hang out, then they're not your friend. It's pretty simple. Like, really simple. Alright. Well, that's enough of that. Ow. I'd say I'm gonna go drink some milk to soothe that throat, but, you know, I got lactose intolerance, we're not gonna do that. Alright. See you later.